When we look at the Orient, Orion, and Sudupu, and the eastern border of the Pacific, and the crossing of the Asiatic, the Amu, these ancient people, these ancient kings, Kohen, when we look at the big kahunas in this region of 180 degrees and 150 degrees east, where we find the Orient, the land of the rising sun, Ori, Or, light. And then we look at the NT, we got noon. We understand noon, the sprouting air, the noon. And T, the mark, the tab. So we look at the Orient and this crossing mark. This is why the winter solstice in this time of this so-called New Year is celebrated. The ancients, when they began their crossing of the hemisphere, the great horizon, or understanding leaving this quadrant, this new quadrant of this new year, of this autumn, now crossing over into the winter, embarking in the land of Orient. So we look at Cain and the mark and the significance of Cain, and we look at the kingship, and we understand the ancient traditions of the Orishas and the El Nohar and the dwelling place. We understand the sitting, the resting, the Shabbat, Shalom, Solomon, the kingship, and the stools of the priest kings, Melchizedek order. This order aligned with the heaven and earth with these mythos. We understand the Cain and the land of the Orient, and Cain and the ocean, and these ocean navigators. Akiano, we understand kings, the coronation, and the crown of the head. We have to understand language and deciphering and recording of these ancients that developed mythos. We look at the dog star of the Dogon and the priesthood and this east. When we look at Australopithecus, you have to understand what we're talking about. This is, when we talk about this out of Africa theory, this is really out of America that we're talking about. This is this transition following these oracles of beginning from the beginning of the year of Atum, the Virgo, the mother, the Amazon, to cross over now, leaving this quadrant into the time of June, into the time of the Gemini, during the time of the first fruit. So understand why the 33 degrees when we have the Masons. We understand that Virgo, September, and this time coming across into the time of May. Masons, Amazons. So these Amu, Asiatic travelers, traveled these lands and transitioned following this stellar mythos. So when we look at the calendar in Janus in January, Yanu, and the Yan,
by technology
and
or any other
and the Anu
influences of
people, the
modern
small,
civilization,
short-statured people,
you
some of
might
these ancient
expect
people
there is a
that we
large
see
social
here
divide between
in the
the
Orient,
norms
land
of the
rising
tribe
sun.
and outsiders.
Peace.
But once you take a glimpse at the way they see the world, you remember there are parts of our human nature that connect us all.
Pale nama kita le. Over jangan berata sekolah tu nak roti papi nanti. Ada mia. Saja le lima huai pamuh ada mahu elah mohal. Aji kau ada bate pale tu malin tu kisu. Pale kada ti bate pale katino nanti kelai. Ote kaya nginto agak
Force them to change their traditional food collection customs. They have been forced to hunt deer, which they have never done before. It is a difficult choice, and the tribe's women still refuse to eat it, relying solely on fish. Lack of food security is not the only consequence of interactions with poachers.
Tiap, pilot angoi. Kita dah ada mia dah udah tiap. Ini dah. Tosi pada ni le oi tok kamu tu dah pada tiba agak tidak.
Knowing that they are not welcome, armed with rifles and willing to use them against the Jarawas, poachers refused to listen. What they didn't take into account was the original reputation of this warrior tribe.
Pasti ada gade yang dua kuai. Ni tahu lah tak tiba tiada ni tahu lah tak. Tipecang.